policy is very much on the agenda of the Asian Financial Forum 2014. And Klaus Regling, the Managing Director of the European Stability Mechanism, joins us. Thanks indeed for doing so. Now, really looking at Europe to begin with, people are more optimistic about Europe. Is the European Stability Mechanism really mostly responsible for the better optimism that we have now?
There's much more optimism about Europe than a year ago or 2 years ago. And maybe the pessimism was a little bit overdone in those years. But we have worked hard. We did have problems. We have worked on them. And the ESM is one of the elements, but only one, that explains why the situation is much calmer today in Europe than a year or two ago. The ESM has played an important role together with the EFSF, which was a temporary institution before the ESM. We have dispersed 225 billion euro to 5 countries that had lost market access. This was instrumental in keeping these countries inside the euro area, which of course was very important to do. But also the money we provide to these countries helps them to adjust and to reform, because we only disperse money with conditionality, like the IMF at the international scene. So these 5 countries that receive money are the best performing, best reforming countries now in Europe. But it's only one element. The other element is really the adjustment in the problem countries, better rules for economic policy coordination in the euro area, and our move towards banking union to reduce the fragmentation in financial markets. So it's this overall package where the ESM is only one of 4 main elements.
However, you do mention that there are problem countries in Europe. Does the ESM really require a better mandate, do you think, into the future to make sure that there won't be any problems as you see that?
Well, I think our strategy is working. We see that 2 of the 5 countries in December exited their program, Ireland and Spain. So right now we support only 3 countries, Portugal, Greece and Cyprus. So in that sense, the strategy is working. 2 have exited. Also the other 3 countries, they are adjusting. They have regained competitiveness. Their exports are growing strongly. Europe as a whole is moving out of recession. The long period of negative growth, 6 quarters, ended already a year ago in the first quarter of 2013. Since the second quarter of last year, growth is back and it's strengthening slowly.
Could you go so far as to say there won't be any more bailouts then, even for the so-called problem countries that you see?
Well, I hope that we really move out of the crisis, that we continue. But we know that in our economic system, there will be crises from time to time. Economic history shows that a kind of financial crisis happens once in a generation. Of course, we try to delay that. We try to make it as small as possible. But I would not go as far as saying there will never be again a crisis in Europe. That, I think, would be unrealistic. Also, typically, a crisis comes from an area where one doesn't expect it. That's part of the nature of the crisis. So we have to be prepared. We have to continue to reduce vulnerabilities of our economies. We have to make sure monetary union works better. We are working on all those aspects. We will be better prepared for the next crisis because the ESM is there, something the euro area didn't have before the crisis. We closed that institutional gap. So we will be better prepared, but I'm afraid one day there will be another crisis, but not the next few years.
So, Klaus, your message really to the Asian Financial Forum is what? It's be more optimistic about Europe and indeed invest in Europe.
Yes, but that's not so new for them because Asian investors returned to Europe already more than a year ago. They have always bought bonds issued by the EFSF and the ESM for good reasons. I think we offer good products. But now, importantly, Asian investors are also coming back to countries like Spain, Portugal, and Ireland. But it's important that Asian investors understand the situation. And I hope that the presence of the chairman of the Eurogroup, who also spoke this morning, my presence, can help to provide better information about Europe.
Having spoken here at the Asian Financial Forum, what do you think of the forum, actually, as a venue for talking about matters policy?
Well, it's a very large forum, more than 2,000 people attending in the audience. So it's a very good opportunity to provide information, to meet investors from from Asia, from many Asian countries. That's why I came here and was happy to participate.